Learning hybrid photography, one day at a time.
Become a smarter photographer every day at discovermirrorless.com.
It's free and phone and tablet friendly.
Trace, nice to meet you, my friend. I love this question. How cool. Trace wants to know if he's moving into premium video and he's shooting talking heads, location-y kind of stuff. Is he going to get that pro edge, that nice quality out of the mirrorless camera, particularly the GH3, or should he go with the 5D Mark III? All right, first up, the Canon 5D series shoots magnificent video, man. You probably already know that. And when you couple that up with those spectacular Canon L series lenses, you've got gorgeous stuff. I mean, the 85mm f, was it a 1.4 from Canon? Coupled up with your 5D Mark II or 5D Mark III, shooting HD video is sublime. And that's what Hollywood's using. It's TV grade. It's gorgeous stuff, bro. Okay, now, shooting video is so much easier with a mirrorless camera. And keep in mind that mirrorless cameras, for the most part, particularly the premium ones that we talk about on this website here, are video cameras at heart. And then photo functions and features are built onto them later, and then they shape them to look more like a still camera. But don't be confused. They're video cameras underneath the hood there. That's what they do. I get, at risk of sounding braggadocious, because I'm certainly not, I get compliments from broadcast TV guys who watch this website and comment about how good our video quality is. And I got to tell you, we do very little post-processing. I am not a post-processing guy. So this piece of video that you're looking at right now, shot with the older version of the Lumix camera. That's a Lumix GH2. And the reason, by the way, that I use the GH2, well, my GH3s are out with either photo assistants, or I have one of our vendors, our suppliers, that's testing it out. But we need to bang out video here, and we want to be able to see the HDMI video go to a monitor and record to the camera at the same time. And there's only a handful of cameras that'll do that. The GH2 will allow me to do that. So from where I'm sitting right now, I've got a GH2 right there, camera, and then right down here, I've got a production monitor that just allows me to check focus and I guess color and stuff there too. But I can see it without any sort of delay. So I know exactly what's going on. And that's a big deal if we need autofocus, right? Autofocus for video really only happens with mirrorless cameras, with the exception of Sony. Sony's upper end DSLR, which is actually an SLT, does pretty phenomenal video autofocus. Well, you're going to need autofocus and you're going to need low light performance. That's where mirrorless cameras take the cake. So if your primary gig is going to be shooting video on location, please trust me, forget the Canon gear, go right to the mirrorless section. I would probably also suggest you take the same path I do and that run down the whole Lumix thing. Here's why. They're very affordable. They're very easy to learn. They have the IA mode, the intelligent auto mode, which will save your bacon. It's incredibly intelligent color and exposure processing that if you're in an environment that you're just struggling, you can't get the color, can't get the exposure, just flip it over to the IA mode, get that shot and get out of there, right? Also, you'll see the Lumix cameras, just like Olympus, use the micro 4/3 lens mount, which gives the widest variety of glass. There's lots of fast glass. The lens that I'm using right here to shoot this, buddy, is the Olympus 45mm f1.8, I think. Please forgive me for not knowing the exact numbers. But post-processing, I'm shooting this video in 1080, even though I don't have to. I'm shooting it in 1080, and I'm going to bring it into Final Cut, and I'm going to put a vignette on it to darken the corners and blur the corners just a little bit. That's just a stock drop-on that I put on. And I use the crisp contrast filter on Final Cut. That's my standard package. Then we're recording audio separately. We're going to put that on there, and then we're going to export it. That's all there is to it. Our post-processing has nothing to do with correcting color ever. It has nothing to do with adjusting exposure issues because we don't need to. We get it right in the camera, and we find out it's lots easier to do that on a mirrorless system, bro. So as much as I do like 5Ds, and I do appreciate the beautiful quality that comes out of them, my GH2s, my GH3, and even my Fuji X Pro produce better video and do it faster with a camera that's much easier to work with and has a lot more features on it, man. So as much as that really hacks off the Canon faithful, it's the fact. I mean, that's just the fact. So try it and see. Go someplace, see if you can borrow one, test it out. You'll find out that's the way to go, man. So thanks, and I'm glad you tuned in to Discover Mirrorless. Come back more often. Bye.
Hybrid photography, one day at a time.
Become a smarter photographer every day at discovermirrorless.com.
It's free and phone and tablet friendly.